super thrilled to be here for another session with Etika. And I mean, we have been associated for quite some time, and it's always a pleasure holding a session for you guys. And I think when we talk about Canva, I think somehow we have a restriction in our head thinking that Canva can only be used for, let's say, one thing like presentation or maybe only for social media. But I think the best thing about Canva is that it offers you so much that once you know how to use it, you can create every possible thing with Canva. Okay, let me quickly share my screen. Can you just enable the screen sharing? Also, welcome all of you guys. I'm super thrilled to be here. In case of any questions, we will anyway take the question in the last few minutes. But in between, also, if you want to put your question in the chat box, please feel free to do that. So we are going to learn how to master Canva in just 1 hour. But I mean, reality is I can tell you a lot in 1 hour, but after that, it needs a lot of practice, which you all will have to do yourself. Because to learn any tool, you have to practice because that's what can make you understand how to use it. Because I can just tell you the usage and the tools, but then it's all about how much you use this for your own projects, for your own work. Now, why Canva? We have, PowerPoint to create presentations. We have CorelDRAW, we have Photoshop, and so many other things. Now, why are we taking this workshop, which is about Canva? Well, Canva is your one platform for all your designing needs. So let's say that you have to create a presentation, right? All you have to do is just use Canva. It will give you the templates. It will give you the colors. It will give you photos. So it's your one-stop shop for everything. For example, if you're making a presentation on PowerPoint, for pictures, you would still have to go somewhere else. You will have to use Google. You'll have to use Unsplash or other websites. For your videos, you'll have to use something else. But with Canva, it offers you everything under one umbrella. Okay. Now, let's say that you want to create an infographic, a presentation which has infographic. Again, Canva has got you covered. It has every possible infographic that you want to use for your deck. Now, let's talk about something else which Canva has, which a lot of people generally don't use, which is, for example, making a logo, right? We generally don't use logo in general. But now with Canva, you can actually create your own logos, whether you have a pharmacy, whether you have, let's say you have a creative agency, you have a law firm, and we learn how to create a logo as well. And besides that, we know that people use Canva extensively for even social media, right? So if you want to create your social media post, you want to create your reel, you want to create your YouTube thumbnail, Canva is the answer to all your questions. All right. So we are going to cover all these things one by one. Just give me 1 second, guys. So we're going to begin with presentation because that's one of the main things for which a lot of people use Canva. But we generally end up using the set templates without making any customization to that. But Canva actually offers a lot of flexibility and customization to any deck that you want to go ahead with. Now, let me take you through the process of how you can go about finding the right template, putting the right narrative, and putting the right keyword to find your template scheme. All right, let's start with Canva. So this is how your homepage looks like. Also, just to let you guys know, we are also going to cover the magic media or the AI feature in Canva, which I feel is one of the best that we have available. And it's actually very good. It can help you in so many ways, especially if you are someone who's into designing, because as I said, this is your one platform for all your designing needs. Now, let's say that you want to create a presentation. So it gives you option of whether you want a sheet, doc, whiteboard, presentation, social media, photo editor, video, printable website, anything else that you want. So there are more options actually. But now let's say that you want to go for a presentation. So I've clicked here. Now, first thing is you need to decide that what is the theme and narrative of your presentation. Because every presentation that you design, chances are that you would already have some content or a brief basis which you are now getting into designing, right? Now, what is it that you want to tell through your presentation? What is the theme of the presentation? Or let's say that I talk about who's the client that you're making presentation for? Is it like an automobile client? Is it, let's say, FMCG? If it's a law firm, if it's a kids project, whatever it is, you basically type the keyword here. So now let's say I'm going to make this presentation for an automobile client. Okay. So I'm getting a lot of template options here, which I can choose from, right? So you get three options here. One is templates, second is layouts, and third is style. There are three things that you get here. Okay. So once you choose a template scheme, then you will see the rest of the options also come alive. Okay. Now let's say I am going to use, let's find a nice template that we can use for our presentation. Okay, let's say this one. Okay, it looks pretty cool. So you can decide if you want to keep one page or all. So I have done apply all pages because I need a template scheme, which should have ideally at least 6 to 8 templates that I can use. Now I think the presentation template looks pretty cool, but I want to customize it for my presentation because chances are that I'm going to be making presentation for a particular client. Let's say I'm going to I'm making this presentation for Mercedes. Okay. Now I don't want to use this car. Secondly, for example, this text, it looks cool, but I would not want to use it because I think the first thing that you learn about using text or fonts is that it should be readable, the legibility of the text, which I feel is pretty low here. I don't think it's very clean or readable text. So I'm going to change that. So I'll go here and let's say I'm going to look for another text, a cleaner text. It's not necessary to use a thematic text all the time. Sometimes a cleaner text does the job. Like even this one looks nice. It's thematic also and it's cleaner also. So I'm going to, let's say, use this text. So that's one thing. Now, every presentation also has certain color scheme, right? Because you generally make your presentation basis color scheme of your brand or whichever brand you're making presentation for. So you can actually change the color scheme here. For example, you like it, but if, for example, I'm making it for Hyundai, hypothetically, then I would, let's say, go for something in blue like this, because that's their logo color and that's their brand color. Compared to, let's say I'm making it for Mahindra or I'm making it for Hero, then I can still keep it black, red and white. That works. But let's see what other color schemes do we have. So we have a lot of them. We have like extremely colorful schemes to bland ones. But if I'm making this presentation for a client like Mercedes, I would keep it very subtle, mostly blacks, grays, and nude color, because that's the kind of theme that they generally follow, right? So I have clicked on this theme and I can just say apply to all pages so that I don't have to physically do this for each and every slide, and Canva takes care of the entire scheme. Look at this. And not just this, they also give you the font scheme if you want. Like if you see here with my text, even with my rest of the color scheme, even the fonts have changed. And why there are different fonts? They have actually curated these fonts basis the color scheme. Like if you see, this is a very subtle color scheme, so they have taken the fonts which are in sync with that color scheme. Yeah. All right. Okay. So before going forward, I'll just quickly tell you, I think, because I can see a couple of questions here. So yes, we can do all the stuff mentioned in this webinar using mostly free version of Canva. I think, see, with Canva, you will still get templates, but if I'm getting, let's say, 100 templates, you are going to get some 50, 60 templates because rest 40 will be paid. But if you want to use the AI features of Canva, then you definitely need to pay for the membership. But besides that, using whether it's social media post, whether it's logo, most of the things you can do that, just that you will get lesser options compared to the paid version. That's the only difference. But yes, you can. Okay. All right. So now my first thing is done. And I think this font looks pretty cool. Even for, if I think about like a Mercedes brand, I think this looks very nice as a font. Okay. I am using the paid version of Canva for people asking. Okay, now let's get back. Now, obviously, I'm not going to use this car because I am making this presentation for a particular client, which is Mercedes. So I will have to change that. So I'm going to delete this car. Now, after the design, there's another tab called Elements. Okay, this is one of the most important tabs here because this will give you all the options that you need for your presentation. So it will give you shapes in case you want to create your own shapes, if in case you want to create your own layout. Because a lot of time, in spite of having a template scheme, sometimes you want to create your own template, one of the templates, which you can use, using these shapes. Then there are graphics, which are vector files like these. So if you want certain arrow, if you want any sticker, if you want, let's say, any vector file, then you can use that. Then we have polls and quizzes in case you want that for your presentation. AI image generator, I'll cover that in a while. Then we have photos, then we have videos, audios, charts, stickers, frames and grids I will come to. But let's start with the images first, okay? So now I'm going to go to photos. And now I need a Mercedes Benz, okay? And I'm going to get all these options. Now I'm going to think about which car do I want. I think this will look nice because it's facing this way. And that's how my layout is. I've got the car. But I can't put it like this because ideally this should be a car cutout, right? It shouldn't have the background. And in general, in PowerPoint, in other apps, you always have to use, Corel Draw, Photoshop, etc. to do this. But in Canva, the AI editor gives you all these options. So I'm going to click on this. And I have something called BG remover, which is background remover. But this is a paid feature. So once you take the membership, you'll be able to use the AI features of Canva. But trust me, I mean, it's extremely useful in terms of, especially if you're somebody who makes presentation or graphics or designing. I think Canva is a pretty good tool to solve all your problems. So my first slide is done. Okay. Now let's come to the second slide. Let's create one more. You can obviously change your text. You can change your font. All that can be done. Now in the second slide, I'm going to delete this. And I am going to get, let's say, this one. Again, I'm going to just do BG remover. And it's done. Now let's say if I want to create my own template here, right? Besides the template which are given, I'm going to click here. So between every slide, if you click, you will get this add page. And this is for transition, okay? So I'm going to click on add page. I have a blank page now. Now you decide what do you want here and how do you want to plan this, okay? Now let's say that I am going to, in the end, I'm going to present the team, saying our team, the team who's working on this particular project for Mercedes. And for that, I need 3 pictures of 3 people who are my team. And that's it. And then it's going to have the names and a header. Now for the picture, how do we go about it? So first, if you want to add any picture to your Canva presentation, you have to go to this tab called Uploads. Okay, one second. I'm just checking. Let's say Uploads. Okay. Now these are the pictures that I've uploaded. If you want to upload your own picture, you can just go to Upload Files. We can go to your image bank. Now take the pictures that you want to include. I want 1, 2, and 3 pictures. And open. So any pictures that you want to use from your own PC, from your own system, from your own computer, you have to click on upload those images. Once you see them here, you can just click and they'll get added. 1, 2, and 3, just like that. Okay. Right now, I'm not adding them. I'll tell you why. Now my images are here. I'm going to go to elements. Now I don't want to put these images here as just basic rectangular shape. I want to just play with the shape a little, make it more interesting like rest of the presentation. So I'm going to go to frames. Okay, so what are these frames? These frames are basically frames for your picture. How do you want your picture to come here? If you want them in a circular shape, if you want them in rounded triangle, Polaroid, whichever shape you want to. Now, let's look at this presentation once in terms of the template. So they have used circles here. And rest of the presentation is very simple and very, clean. There are plain, straight shapes. Okay. So let's say I want to use a circular shape here. Okay. So I'm going to go here, bring this shape. 1, 2, and 3. To make a copy of any picture, any content, you just need to click on this to do duplicate, and it gives you another copy. Okay. And I think it's done. Perfect. Now let's go to the uploads where we had the images. So this is my first image. I'm just going to drag the image and you will see that it's already getting filled in the frame. So I'm going to drop it and that's it. Second image, I'm going to bring it here. And you will automatically see it getting inside. So sometimes it also take image inside the in the slide as a background. Okay, so you can change that. And then we have the third image. With this. So that's how you can plan your image. Okay. Okay. And now you can just place you go to text, beside your text. So let's say I say team slide. I'm going to increase the text size from here. Let's say I'm going to keep it big, pretty big. This we can bring down here. Perfect. The good thing about Canva is it also does a lot of alignment like this. Also, if you want to move the picture, you can move it. Just double click on the picture. And because if it's not setting properly in the shape, you can easily move it, like how we do in PowerPoint as crop. Okay. Now this is my team slide. Let's make it a little smaller maybe. Yeah. But we also have to make sure that we are using the same font like our rest of the presentation. So we are using the Bodoni EFLF. We are going to use the same for our slide also. Let's make it this. So that it looks like one presentation. Also, if you want to, let's say, pick some elements, to make sure that there's a consistency in the presentation, you can just pick some element, make it more like a design element here, like this. I'm making a copy and keeping one here. So that it has certain element to it besides the content. All right. So that's how you can actually plan your own templates as well. It's not necessary that you have to stick to the same templates that it offers you. Okay. Also, two people had asked, how can we align picture inside the shape? I hope that both of you got the answer. You just basically click on this and you can move the picture. Like if you see right now, we have her inside the picture. Okay. So that is how you can move the picture. Now, like I said, it offers a lot of features. Let's just, I'll elaborate a little bit about how to put it into shapes, because shapes help you create most of the layouts in your presentation. Okay. So now let's say I'm going to use, not for this PPT, let's assume that we want to create a presentation which has 3 venues. Okay. 3 venue options. I'm going to keep it a little funky. Depending on the theme, of course, you can decide how you want to take this slide. Okay, so these are the 3 pictures that I've taken. All I have to do is just go to uploads. Now let's say this is my picture 1. This is my picture 2. And this is my picture 3. It's very simple, because if you talk about presentation, so you can do the same thing on presentations also in PowerPoint, but it's going to take you a lot more time to do this. Okay. Now, since we are talking about pictures, let's also cover the things that you can do with Canva AI in pictures. All right. So the background remover we have already learned. Let's take a picture first. I'm going to take this image. All right. Now, in order to use your Canva AI features, you have to go to edit. The moment you click on edit, you will get this tab on the left, which has all your options. So first is the most simple BG remover. You click on it and your background will be removed. And it's very simple and very easy. And it's actually, it gets done in any picture, because in PowerPoint also you can do it actually, but it's not that precise. But in this case, you can do it on any picture. It does it very flawlessly and neatly. Okay. So that's your first feature. Now let's come to the second one. BG generator. This is actually very, very interesting. I'll show you how this works. Okay. Let's remove this. I'm going to get another image. Let's say that this is my image. I'm going to go to edit and I'm going to BG generator. So if you click here, it also gives you some ideas how you can use it. For example, I just clicked on inspire me and it says a leafy, lush jungle with a canopy that filters dabble light onto the forest floor. But you can create your own, a new background. Like for example, I say I want it on a beach setting with sunset in the background. Let's see. Again, always remember that when it comes to AI, it's not necessary that in the first go, it's going to give you 100% right results, because AI is, you have to train it in a certain way. So the more you use it, the more it will get trained as per your own interest. So look at this. And you've got this setting that you wanted, a beach with a sunset background, right? Let's try it again. Okay, I'm going to get, let's get, okay, let's try something bizarre. We are going to go to PG generator and we are going to say a college background with lots of students. Let's see. Again, as I said, the more you use it, the more it will get trained. And the more accurate your results will be. Look at, so for example, it's given me 3 options. So if I want to use just a background, I can use this. If I want specifically kids around, I can use this. Look at this. So it gives me more and more options that I can choose from. All right, now let's look at another feature. So that was your BG generator. Okay. So now I'm going to get, let's say, this image, edit. So after BG generator, we have a very interesting feature called magic eraser. Okay. So for that, let me try something interesting. Okay. Okay. Let's take this. Okay. It's a photo, and these are the pictures that I have uploaded myself. So you will have to upload, or you have to take it from Canva bank. So I've taken this picture, and let's say I don't want these plants in the front. So I'm going to click on magic eraser, choose the size of the brush that you want. I'm okay with this size, and just click on the thing that you want to remove. This works very well when you want to remove, let's say, people in the background or a certain element in pictures. And it does a pretty neat job. You will see that. Yeah. And I'm going to click on erase. Look at this. So again, it's sometimes not 100% there, but it does a pretty good job. Now, I think somebody asked this question in the comments also, if you can extend the background. So yes, you can do that. Let me show you how. So we'll go to images. First, let me show you the extension feature only. So I've got this image and I'm going to go to edit. So after, I'm going to come back to these, but let me just first address it. There's something called magic expand. So right now, if you see my picture, it's a square picture, which is a smaller picture, not covering the entire slide. But what if I want to use this picture as my background? Okay. So I can click on magic expand. So it gives you option if you want free form, if you want whole page, or if you want 1:1. So I'm going to click on whole page. So it chooses the entire page. Or if you want it in a certain, at a particular place, then you can go for free form and choose that. And I'm going to click on expand and just wait. And this works for any ratio of picture. Look at this. So it creates, and this was an AI picture, but now we can also use any picture that you want. Like, again, not every picture is going to be perfect, but it gives you pretty good results. Now, let's say that this is a picture. This is not an AI picture. The one that I showed you earlier, that's a AI generated picture from Canva only. But let's say this is my image. It's a stock image that I've taken. It's not AI image. If we have to use the same feature here, let's see how it works. Okay. So we'll go to Magic Expand, whole page, and expand. And this works for any ratio, whether it's your picture is 3:2, whether it's 1:1. Look at this. And it looks flawless. It doesn't look like a picture where you have done any tampering, right? It looks so it takes the background that you already have and it extends it in a very seamless manner. So that's one of the features. Now let's look at the remaining features also. Let's get the picture. Let's say this is the picture. Let's go to edit. So after Magic Eraser, we have something called Magic Grab. Okay. This is also a pretty cool feature. So this feature actually helps you grab a particular element from a picture. So for example, let's say that I want to grab only the boy. I don't want the rest of the thing. So I can just click on him and say grab. So you can actually detach a particular thing from the image, which you cannot do in most of the platform, like whether it's PowerPoint or anything else. Look at this. And now let's say I remove this background. I don't want this child superhero to be there. I want a different background for him. Okay. So I'm going to maybe go here, edit, go to BG generator and say, I want him to be on a pedestal with a crowd looking at him. Again, it's a trial. Let's see how accurately can the AI pick it up. It would not drag the image. It would only extend the background, as somebody asked in the question in the chat box. Is Netcracker given the pro features? I am not sure about that. I'm sorry. Okay, look at this. So it gave you a pedestal on which the child is standing, the hero is standing, and there's a crowd that is looking at it. Yeah. So that's how you can, put any background to any image. It's actually very interesting. So grab, like for example, if I want to, let's say, even if I'm here, if I go to edit and if I go to grab, so I can pick anything. For example, if I want to pick this portly here, right? But if you see that there's a part of portly which will be left that you can see here, but you will still see that how it can easily grab things. Look at this. Now, let's say if I don't want to do it like this, instead, I want to, let's say, grab this arrow. Let's try that also. So I'm going to go to edit, magic grab. And I'm going to grab this. So let's say that you're using this picture for your presentation where you were showing earlier the prices were rising or the profits were rising. But now it's the other way around. They're actually going down. So you can just change the arrow. So you don't have to find another picture. It's just as simple as that. And it's super useful, trust me. I mean, this is one feature which I use all the time. Okay, 1 second. Let's see what else do we have here. Let's take a picture here. Also, I know that a lot of people want to know about how we can generate images also. So we'll come to that. Okay, let's come to grab text. So just the way you have grabbed an element from a picture, you can also grab text. And that is super useful. I'll tell you how. A lot of times you see, for example, logos, or if you see any picture, okay, for example, this. Okay. And you don't want the background. You want to put your own background to this logo or to this text, but you don't know how to extract this logo. So what you need to do is you just need to go to edit, and you have something called grab text. And it has automatically chosen the text. If it does not detect the right text, you can obviously change. So I'm going to click on it and do grab. So now what has happened here is, look at this. Now you've got this for yourself. So you want to use it on your own presentation. You want to change the background. You want to use it in a different way. It's all up to you. So it is pretty cool. And trust me, once you start using these features, you are going to use them in your presentation, and they enhance the look and feel of your presentation drastically. Trust me, I'm not kidding. Let's take, I think one last feature is left, I suppose. Let's come to that also. So I've taken this. Now let's go to edit. So we have something called magic edit. All right. And yeah, that's the only thing. So magic edit basically helps you change elements. For example, if you have a picture of a boy holding something, let's take a different picture for this because this picture won't work. 1 second, let's delete this. Okay. And again, magic edit as of now, for as long as I've used, it's not that precise, but they are working on it. Okay, so let's see if we have, let's try it with this maybe. I'm not sure if it's going to 100% work on this, but I think we should give it a try. So magic edit. So right now this person has this safety or whatever vector file, and we say instead of the, please select the area first. So we are going to select the area. Okay. Instead of the safety middle file vector, it should a light bulb. Let's see how does it work. Because last time when I tried, it didn't give the exact results. But as I said, it keeps improving. The more you interact with it, the more you give it commands, give it prompts, it will learn and it will also evolve with you. Yeah, I think this is perfect. And you also get different options. You know, if you want to make a slide which talks about the new idea, the big idea, I think it works perfectly well because you don't need to keep looking for images again and again. You can just find the right image. Okay. By using the existing ones. So these are some of the features that you all can use very, very easily. There are a few more like shadows, dual tone, blur, but I don't think that those are the ones that you will be using too much. But if you feel that there's an image where which has lesser clarity, for example, like if I go here, let's try this image. I'm going to go to edit. They have something called autofocus. Let's try that. And let's see how well it works. I think it'll work better for images that, so okay. So what has happened here is if you see the previous image, the background was also in focus, but now it has put all the focus on me and the background is all a blur. Look, let me show you. This is the previous image, right? And this is the new image. So I think this is nice. This is pretty nice. Okay. Okay. Somebody's asking if it's free. So Canva as a website is free. It gives you template. It gives you photos. It is not going to give you the entire library. It will give you a part of it. These features that you're seeing, the one which are picture editing features, they are Canva AI features, which are only for the paid version. All right. Okay. Now let's get back to a presentation. So what else does Canva offer and why do we call it a one-stop shop for everything? So as I said, it has pictures. So even for things like if you want to insert pictures in letters, like if you want to start your presentation, for example, with H E L L O with a hello. So, you can do the same thing on PowerPoint, but it's going to take you 5 times, uh, 5 times the time. Like these are things you can do even in the free version of Canva. Okay, I'm going to reduce the size so that all the letters fit here perfectly well. Okay, now to change the background, because like I'm treating this slide as a separate slide, not this Mercedes presentation. So if I click on the background, you will see the background color here. You can change it to anything. I'm going to change it to black. Okay. Now let's come to your uploads. And you can start uploading pictures like this. Look at this. Or if you want, for example, if you want to think of it as a Mercedes presentation only, you can actually put different pictures of Mercedes in each of these letters. And I think it look pretty cool. I don't have Mercedes pictures here right now. You can obviously get it in the images. You can just go to elements, go back to images. Let's go back to photos here. I'm going to type Mercedes Benz. And you get multiple pictures. In the first one, for example, I get this one. In the second one, in the third one, well, in the last. You will get some use. It will take some use to get to this whole process. But once you do that, it becomes super easy. Trust me. Definitely much easier than doing it manually on PowerPoint. Look at this. I think for this, I don't need the darker image. Let me put lighter ones because they're going to look nicer on a black background. So those are small things that you will have to take care of once you start making such slides. Let's put one more. This is nice and bright. Let's put it here. Yeah. Look at this. If you want to change the color, you can still do that. You can make it white, you can make it black, you can make it gray. Anything. It's all up to you. All right. Now I'm going to cover some basic things so that people know how to use simple things like how to insert videos. So this was for photos. Now let's say that you want to insert videos in your presentation. Again, you don't have to go to Google or any other website for most of the videos. So you can actually do it here. Yeah. Now I'm going to, let's say, find a video of Mercedes Benz on road. Let's see. Let's see if you get something here. So I think we are not getting a particular car. Let's see. So we have one here. I'm not sure if it's Mercedes. But most of the images that you want, for example, if I want, let's say, team logo. So you will get a video here. Right? You will get all these options. In this also you have background removal. So you can use that option. You can change the speed of the video. If you want it to be played on repeat, you can do that. It also gives you certain filter. So let's say if you want to go for background remover, so your background will be removed. But since it's a video, it's not always that neat. So I personally don't suggest it, but look at this. Yeah. So you can get your pictures and videos within the app. If you want to add audio to your presentation, again, you can go to audio and choose your presentation. Stickers are another way of putting things. For example, let's say that you're talking about, let's say that you are celebrating 100K subscribers, okay? And you want to uh, make a slide about it, make a JPEG about it in your presentation. You can go to maybe stickers. It will give you multiple options that you can choose from. Like you'll see confetti stickers. So I can, let's say, choose from this. First, I'm going to make the background white. And the text maybe blue. And then you can just plan how you want this to be. You can make a copy of it on both the sides. There are multiple ways, like you can put this also on the side. So it's all up to you. So you have these stickers, these different GIFs that you can use in your presentation. Very, very useful. Okay. Let's get back. So we have covered most of these things. Now let me tell you about basics about text. Okay. Just last thing about presentation, then we'll go to the next section. Okay. Now, how do you align things here in Canva? So we have the align feature here. You can do left align, right align, or center align. You just have to click here. If there are two lines, let's say, and you want to decide the distance between both the lines, you can go here, spacing. So it gives you letter spacing also. It gives you line spacing also. So you can choose how much space do you want between each letter or the line. Okay. And this is just for the sizes if you want to refer to it. If you want certain effects, like if you want outline, if you want shadows, if you want neon, all those things are already here, which are very simple to use. So it won't take you much time once you start using them. Now let me introduce you to this very cool feature, which is again AI, which is AI image generator. Okay. Let's click on this. Generate your own image. Now describe what you like to create. Okay. So I'm going to say a Mercedes Benz. Let's say you don't have enough pictures, and sometimes you also have copyright issues that you cannot use pictures just like that. So you can actually create AI photos because that you can use without any issue because they're not real images. A Mercedes Benz. You can also put a particular model if you want. On road, drive on road, uh, with tall buildings, or let's say maybe on road with a beautiful skyline of building. Let's see what do we get and how precise is it. Look at this. We have got pretty cool, I think, image. Okay, and now let's say that I want to use this image. In fact, I want to use it for my entire background. All I have to do is just go to edit, go to magic expand, whole page and expand. And I've got a really cool image that I can use for my presentation without the copyright issues. And I didn't have to do much to find this particular image. Let's wait for a few more seconds. Yeah, pretty cool, right? Now, let's go to that feature again. Let's go back. Now, let's say that you want a graphic. So what's the difference between an image and graphic? Graphics are generally vector file. For example, if I say skyline with tall buildings. Okay. So you will see that you will get vector, which you can actually use for your infographics, which you can use for your icons like this. So even if you want a particular, like for example, say Dubai skyline, because sometimes finding the right skyline without background is a challenge. So this is actually pretty helpful that way. Look at this. So it's given you all the options. Now let's say for image, you want image of a businessman sitting with his team in a plush high-rise office. Because these are the kind of images that we use a lot in our presentations, and everybody uses the same run-of-the-mill images that we get on Google and other websites. So AI gives you different images. And again, images vary for everyone because we all put different keywords with it. So not all pictures would work for you, again, as I said, but some of them would fit perfectly into your description. And slowly, slowly, you will get better at giving the right prompts. Okay, that is the key. It will take time, but it will happen. Now, let's say that it also has, besides images and graphics, it also has videos that you can choose from. For example, I've clicked here on Inspire Me. It's saying steady handheld shot of a group of puppies playing in park, chasing each other, wagging their tails in even natural light. I mean, that's like very precise, but let's put our own prompt. Okay. So we'll say, uh, team of corporate, uh, in an office doing a team building activity. Let's say that you want to use it for your team building slide or a teamwork slide. Let's see what do we get. These things, of course, take time because they are videos and they are not images. So you'll have to wait a bit before it generates the result for you. Can we use Canva like ChatGPT to prepare a presentation on some topics, say women empowerment? Okay, so I'll come to the feature of Magic Write, where it will give you the content for your slides, but it's not going to create a deck completely, but it can give you the content like how ChatGPT does. So I'll come to that. Okay, it's almost done. Almost there. While it's happening, let's quickly do one more thing in the meantime so that we save on time. Okay, it's almost done actually. Let's see. We've got a video. Let's see how accurate is our video. Let's play. I think it's still generating. So you will see there are a few flaws, especially in videos, but slowly it keeps getting better. And again, with every update and uh, every stage, it also evolves with you. Now coming to the text, how do you generate a text for a presentation? Let's come to that. That's also very important. When you click here, you have something called Magic Write. Okay, there's this special thing which talks about quick action. So it has page numbers, it has Magic Write, text, and all these things. Okay, now let's talk about Magic Write. So just like how you do with ChatGPT or Gemini, it asks, what do you want to do? Okay, so now I'm going to say, create a 10-slide presentation about how AI is the next AI is the next big thing. Okay, very simple. Generate. Now it has given me an outline here, right? If you see, it has given me a tech 10 slide outline. There's an outline of 10 slide, title slide, introduction slide. Now I'm going this, but can you elaborate each and every point for my presentation? Because I don't want only the headers. Let's say I want even the content. So it is going to give me content for each and everything one by one. Look at this. So once I have the content and once I'm satisfied, ensure your presentation will all that. Okay. Now I'm going to say insert. So right now it's going to insert it on one slide. You can obviously cut copy and put it on other slides, and it becomes like a 10 slider presentation that you can work with. Okay. Now this was about presentation. And again, there's a lot more that you can do, but we have very limited time. So let me show you what else can we do. So like I said, Canva, the thing that we work for Canva is that it has everything covered from presentation to post, Instagram post to reels. Now let's say that you want to create a logo for your organization. You just have to click on the logo part. So like how we go here. So it gives you all the options. If you click here, you will get all these. So quotes, presentation, YouTube thumbnail, Facebook post, whiteboard, story, document, banner, and I've just had to click logo on the logo part. Now decide what logo do you want? What is your company into? So for example, let's say I have a law firm. Okay. So I'm going to click on law firm. And it's going to give me multiple logos to choose from. Okay. So let's say that I think this one works well. So you get the logo, and the good part is it's an editable logo. So now you can put your own Ashwani and firm. Ashwani and let's do Ashwani and Associates. And I'm going to reduce the text size. And that's it. You can change your own color, your own font type. Let's do it once again, okay? So we are here. We'll go to design. Let's say I'm creating an advertising agency. It's going to give me again more options with some logos, with some mnemonics. Look at this. Sorry, let's say I'm into robotics. Robotics. Look at this. Now it's going to give me very precise option basis what I'm into. So let's say I'm going to choose this one. Okay. And I'm saying my company name is Gray Orange and AI warehousing. And that's my logo. And if you want, you can also change the color, anything that you want. Look at this. So you can also choose the template style. You can change it. You can shuffle. Let's go back. You can go to style. If you think that this color scheme doesn't work for you, you can choose something else. You can go for this. So just like template scheme, you can also change the logo colors. It's not that you have to use this. What are some free tools which can offer similar features? Okay. So see, to be honest, when it comes to AI, nobody is going to give free tools for AI. And even if they do, they will give you like a 7-day free trial or a 3-day free trial. But then you have to pay for that. Except like especially when you talk about picture tools, when you're talking about getting proper pictures, using AI to change backgrounds, all of that. So that's mostly paid. Okay. Now let's go back. So let's say that you have something else. Let's say you are into pharmacy logo. So imagine you just have to change content and you have ready-made logos. So this is just one part of it. Okay. Now, let's say that you are an aspiring content creator or you're already a content creator. Along with your job, you're doing that. So you want to create your YouTube thumbnail. It becomes so easy because now, you've seen the kind of features you can use with remove background, because you must have seen these thumbnails where they are cut out of people and you always wonder, okay, how do I get the same ones? So it's so simple now. You all can do it. Now, let's say that, what is you are into, let's say you are into lifestyle. You're a lifestyle blogger, okay? And you will get all these amazing options. Like if you want to create a vlog, if you want to, let's say you want to do this secret to transformation and you want to put your own picture, you know how to do that. You just have to get your picture, remove the background, you can change the text. Everything is just one click away. You can also add beautiful things. So like for example, if you click on graphics, it's going to give you relatable graphics that you can use to this particular magic recommendation. Is again AI feature that's going to give you the relatable elements that you can add to this particular thumbnail. So for example, like if you see, everything goes with this visual cue that we are following. Like if I want to use this, I can just add it. If you want to remove few elements, if you feel it's a little too much, you can do that too. And you can add your own elements. Let's say you want to add this. So it's all customizable. And that's not just for thumbnails. It's for everything else. So if you want to use Canva for, let's say your Instagram post, Instagram reels, for posters, like that's something that we get made generally from, we outsource it to a creative team. So in this case, you can do it yourself. Okay. So I've clicked on posters. I'm going to click on designs. Always remember, what do you want? Like, you have to be very clear about what poster do you want. So it's going to give you a lot of ideas here. But let's say I'm going to do it for let's find workshop announcement. Okay, let's see, what do we get? So it's going to give me very precise posters which I can use for my presentation, my workshop. You can obviously change the pictures. If my workshop is on PowerPoint, I will change it as per that. If it's on pottery, it will be different. Can it make Ghibli images? I am not sure. I have not really tried it, but we can try it right now. Let's see if it can follow the trend. We'll see it. Just give me 1 minute. We'll just finish this section and then we'll try that. Okay. Okay. So that's how you do it. Now, okay. So one thing that it can definitely do is, let me get to that because somebody asked about the images. So let's see. When you're uploading images, okay. So let's say that you upload this image. And let's go to elements. Let's go to these are all apps. You have to download external apps in case you want to go for that. I'm just checking if there's a particular feature that we can use, or should we generate images using the AI. Let's check it out because I've never tried creating that. So I'm not 100% sure, but let's see if we can do something like that. Not here, but let's go to the let's see if we can do it here in Canvas. Can you transform with image to image? Let's see. I'm not sure if it's going to work out, but you only get to know when you try. No, it says it doesn't. I think maybe because it needs to take copyright or something, because it says that it may result in content that doesn't meet our policies. But one thing that you can definitely do is, let me show you that. When you are finding, like when you're putting, let's say you're saying a couple on top of an Eiffel Tower. Okay. You can actually choose a style. Like if you want it filmy, moody, soft focus, vibrant, anime. So for example, if I'm choosing anime and then I say this, let's see if we get results now. So it's not going to be exactly, because what Ghibli does is it takes your image and transforms it into a particular anime feature. But in this case, it will still, I think you'll still get, yeah. So you will still get this anime sort of feel. It's just that it's not your own image. But what you can do is you can give a proper description of your own character, like saying a short hair girl or a girl with a pony, because then you will get somewhat closer results, maybe. Yeah. But I think now we have 5 minutes left, so we can start with questions if there are any. How about transitions? If we talk about the slide transitions, let me show you that. Let's get, okay. So when you go here, you have add transition. Between each slide, you will have a transition feature here. So you can use, let's say, circle wipe or color wipe, and you can use the duration, direction. You can use light wipe. It's very simple. It's not very complicated to use transition. Just click here. You will get the transition. And you can just select the one that you want. Okay. I hope that answered your question.
Shruti, before we take questions, I just launch the poll.
Sorry, I'm not able to hear you clearly.
Am I clear now?
Yes.
So what I was saying, I'll just launch the poll.
Okay.
Yeah. Feedback poll. Team, I have launched the feedback poll. Please respond to that and then we'll take the questions. I hope everyone able to see the feedback poll. Shruti, we can take the questions. Ma'am, we can take the questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me know in case you guys have any question. I hope the Ghibli questions were answered. The transition is taken care of. Pro is for NC employees. Sorry, I'm not aware of this, so I won't be able to answer this question. Is there text to speech voiceover generation? I don't think so. But that's still something I can still check. I've not used it in Canva, but I can definitely check. This premium membership is mandatory for all these. No, not for all these. So you will still get PowerPoint templates, you will still get few images, but you won't get the entire range of templates and entire range of images. You will still get few. And the AI features that you saw, like how to make changes to images, that you won't be able to use without the membership. If I use one AI character in one slide, how do I use the same character on the rest of the slide as well? Uh, that's a very interesting question. I think let's try. We can actually, I'm hoping we can tell the AI. Let's try that, okay? So we get to image and let's say a 15-year-old boy in a field of mustard in India. Boy with long hair. Let's make it a little precise. Let's see. Okay, so let's say that we take this boy on this slide. Then on the next slide, go back and we say same 15-year-old boy with long hair in a city with tall building skyline. Let's see if it can get the same person here. The uploaded pic would be, oh yes, you get the same person. See, you get the same person here and here. No, is it? No, I think it's a little different, but I think you had this option even in this picture, if I'm not wrong. Let me try again. Cancel. Same in a field of mustard, mustard in India. Let's see. Use Grab AI feature maybe. Yeah, we can try that. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, because I think it's getting different people clearly. These two are same, but I think it's not picking the last character. But let's try that. So if we go to edit, that's actually a great idea. Let's go to edit and let's try the magic grab. Grab. The only thing is every picture is set to a particular background, so it might not perfectly set to the next one, but you can still get the same character. Now we can remove this maybe, but you will see that it still has few flaws because the picture was like that. Or, if you what we can do is instead of this, we can just get a picture of a 20-year-old corporate man. Because if we just get a neat, clean picture, then you can use it on different backgrounds rather than grabbing. Because I think with grab, you will still have certain flaws or certain gaps. Now, with this picture, for example, I can just remove the background or I can just use grab either ways. Or I can just use the background generator now, saying that a farm with mustard field generate. In the meantime, somebody has mentioned, can you show us? See, so you got the different picture. So I think you can use this trick. It's better. You find a picture without the background, or you just use the background generator to change the background of the same image. Now coming to somebody has asked, how do you create an Instagram reel? So let me show you that quickly. So we have Instagram reel feature. We'll click on that. And again, it's going to give me a lot of option of already ready, reels that I can pick from. Look at this. So now, for example, if I'm going to, let's say, travel related reel, I can just write travel and you can choose the reel that you want to choose from. Look at this. So let's say I'm going to choose I'm going to show 5 places that I've been to in Korea and I want to show which all places you should go to. So I can just click here. And now all I have to do is change the background. So I can just click here and we can delete this background and you can insert your own background. You go to your, let's say, elements, you go to your videos, let's say South Korea, you have this place, put this as background. Look at this. Yeah. Set, you can go to a layer, send to back. So just like that, for each particular place, you just have to change the background and that's about it. It's pretty easy. What are the ways in which we can take help of Canva for building interactive websites? Websites is honestly not something that I've done. Let me see if we have that option here. Because I think with websites, there's a lot of tech involved. Because when you're hosting the website, right? Which I don't think uh, it offers as of now, but let's just check it out. Flyers, whiteboard stories, you have graphs, infographic, banner, funnel paper. Yeah, so I don't think it has the website as of now. It might add it later, but right now I don't see it. I've never noticed it. That's why I was just trying to recheck, but it's not there. Shall I add photos as well in this reel templates? You can, absolutely. You can. I think we'll just take last 2 more questions and then we're going to end the session. Any 2 questions?
If anybody wants to speak up, just raise your hand. I'll allow you to speak.
Can we make long videos? You can. You can make long videos. And yes, okay, let's see. There's a website option here. But since I've not really used a website designing here, I don't think that I'm sure it's going to be a more elaborate process. But they have a website option that you can explore. There's website business, portfolio website, event website. In fact, they also has resume. So if you want to, make a very cool looking resume, you can create that also using Canva. And yes, you can make long videos using Canva. Yes. Yes. Can we give video effects? Yes, you can. Of course. There are a lot of options which are available. If you go to videos and you go here, it will give you like templates also. Like, for example, if you go to YouTube videos, it is going to give you a lot of templates that you can use, which already has effects that can be used for your long videos.
So, ma'am, with us we have Anil. We'll be taking last question from Anil. Anil, you can
Yes.
Anil can speak.
I think he
The
asked a
video.
question about it. Yes, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, video effects and all, like in a professional look, will it support, or it will be generate only short videos?
Sorry, I'm not able to hear you. Your voice is very low.
So can you hear me now? Hello?
Your volume is very, very low. I can barely hear you.
Okay.
So if you go to video, there's a tab here for video. If you go here, it will give you templates and designs for video also that you can choose from. And then you can go to elements. You will still get a lot of shapes, all those things that you can use in your video to create that sort of effect. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining.
Yeah.
Yes.